Hey guys, welcome back. Before we get started today, I have to put in my 2 cents about the bullying that's been going on. I'm sure you guys have already heard about it from other floss tubes that are more popular than mine, wherever. I know there's a lot of people who have said it. I heard about it from Stitch All the Things. But basically, just in case you haven't heard, there was a floss tuber who had somebody create a fake profile on Facebook and say some really terrible things to her about how she'll never be as popular as some of the floss tubers, how she just basically wasn't worth it. And this is not okay. It's never okay to say something about somebody, especially if you have to go on a fake profile to do it. And I watched her video. I did not ask for her permission, so I'm not putting her name up here. I'm sure she'd be okay with it, but it's always good to ask permission first. But yeah, it's not okay. She handled it way better than I would have, and had way more grace than I have in my little finger. So I thought she handled it really well, and she didn't let it get her down, so hopefully she keeps making videos. She is pretty new to Flosstube, so I just had to say that I've seen worse bullying in Flosstube than I've seen in my school, and I work with middle schoolers. So that should tell you something right there. It's never okay. It's not okay to make fun of somebody for any reason unless you're just a very small person who needs to have that validation in their life, I guess. But there's so many other outlets. Flosstube, we're here to have fun. We're here to talk about our projects and stuff that we enjoy. There's enough ugliness in the world. We don't need it here. With that being said, I would like to bring some beauty into Flosstube. So I'm going to talk about my projects. Today we are being sponsored by Winchester Mystery House. I don't normally drink coffee in the afternoon. It's like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but I've had a really rough, it's not even a really rough week. I haven't really had much going on, but we've had testing all week. And we had to be up super early on Sunday morning to go and see the new Avengers movie, so I think it just cut into my sleeping time. But that being said, okay, I have progress on 2 projects. I have I have progress on 3. I'm not going to show you George. I did 1 more line. It's not worth it. What I do have is a lot of progress on Electra and a lot of progress on Dasher. So I'm going to show you those. I have a little bit of haul, which will literally probably take me less than a minute to show you. So if you don't like haul, you can skip it, but you probably don't even need to. And I would really like you guys' opinion on, so be thinking through the video of, if there's a Bewitching Pixie I have not done yet that you would like to see done next, let me know below. Because I'm really going to try to finish Electra this week. And I know it's Mania right now. Happy Mania, everybody. If I'm not able to do that, then I would like to finish that. But more than likely I will, and I'm going to need a project to do on my trip. So at the moment, I'm thinking of doing Xenia. Sorry, I forgot her name for a second. But I really am open to suggestions, and I don't get too many comments, so if there's one you really want to see, if you comment it, it'll most likely happen. So first off, I'm going to show you Dasher. So last time you saw Dasher, there was a little bit of the wreath on his back done. But this time, we actually have almost a reindeer. So I finished before you had basically seen this outline of it. which is done in the variegated over dye. But this time I got all the green in. The rest of this is beads, but there's some beads that go into the green part as well. I think I mentioned last time that I couldn't find the beads I needed, and so I just went ahead and stitched that, and I'm going to put the beads over it because they don't cover, they're completely different shaped beads, so they don't cover the way the ones before would have. Next time I work on him, I'm going to get this middle color done, which is only one color. Possibly the hooves, which also has a little bit underneath his chin right here, and then his antlers will be the next section that I do. After that, it's really just the border and all the beads. So we'll see where I get to with him. I'm more excited about how much you guys will see on Electra. So last time you saw her, she had a little bit, her wings, the black part of her wings were done. The front of her dress in the black was done, and you had seen half of her, or the pumpkin, you had seen the top half. Well, this time I finished all the black. The only black I have left is the backstitch, and I can't do that until I get her wings done. Which these are green, and then, like, they're two different colors of green. And then I need to get the oranges in the pumpkin face done as well, because he has some backstitch in there. So this piece is actually really light on backstitch. All of the Bewitching Pixie is actually really light on backstitch. The only backstitching she has is here. She has like one loop in her wing, and then her face and neck. And my cat is attacking Dasher. And then I also got the red done, which I believe is 9/18, starting her hat and then going down. Excuse you. You are not helping. Want to say hi? Oh, you don't want to say hi. Say hi, Mookie. Okay. I'll put you down. So the next color she's going to have, I think she has 3 more colors in her skirt of the orange, and then the 2 colors in her wings, and then she's done. And then the beads, of course. And those always take longer than I'm planning, but I'm really hoping to get her done before we leave on our trip, which we leave next Friday. Should be plenty of time, but I would like to have my next pixie started, because I hate starting things, like, I'll probably be working on it on the plane, and I hate starting things when, like, I hate starting things in general. I know I'm really, really weird when it comes to Flosstube, or stitchers in general, because I just hate starting. So I would really like to get it started before my actual trip, to make it easier and not have to count as much. So that's all the progress I have on those two. I do have some haul, which I will show you. I had actually filmed this video already, but I had forgotten that I wanted to put in the bit about the bullying. So I had put everything away, and so now I have to get it all out again, because I forgot. It's really not much though. So the only haul I got in was my fabric for my chatelaine and a couple of floss colors, which one of them disappeared. There we go. So the fabric that I chose is a 28 count Lugana, which I got in the China Pearl color. So it's a very light gray. It looked darker in the pictures, so I wish it was a little bit darker. And I thought about dyeing it again, but I kind of don't want to be bothered with it. And that way I can start it sooner rather than later. So I'm going to go ahead and just stitch it on this. And there's so much sparkle in it that I really am not too worried about how it's going to look. I know the threads will look beautiful on it. And it's actually probably nicer that it's a lighter gray because my walls all over my house are now like a medium gray color. So the only ones that are not are these two. You're looking at them. So, and this will probably be in the living room because peacocks were the theme of our wedding. So once it's done, I'm assuming it's going to go in the living room and won't live with me here in the craft room. The threads that I got for it, like I said, I'm buying these like little bits at a time. So I only got 4 more colors. I got the Silk Lame in SB 35? 38, which is this like Caribbean blue. I got SP 118, which is like a mint green. It's a little bit lighter than it's showing up. I got 2 of those. You guys have, I'm sure, all seen this one. I got the Petite Treasure Braid in PB 35, which is gold. I got 2 of these. I ordered 3, but one's on back order, so I'll be getting the other one soon. And the PB 14, which is, it shows up very brown on camera, but it is like a coppery, like new penny color, which is really pretty. And I got 2 of those. So that's it. That's all my haul. I don't have, other than the other card of the PB 35, I don't have anything that I've ordered that's on its way. So I am going to pull a piece of my stash fabric to start the one I showed you guys last time, which is the Sea Hag Plum Street Samplers, because I am wanting to stitch this like now, but I still need to decide on my colors because I'm not using those that it came with, and I'm basically going to create my own, I think. It's something about the like sampler colors that I'm not a fan of. And I just think it'd look really cool with some brighter. I think I'm going to keep most of the blacks, and I will keep some of the colors darker, but there's some stuff I'm going to switch out, and I'm sure I'll probably add some sparkle in there somewhere. But that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for commenting, liking, subscribing. If you are a Flosstuber and want me to subscribe and come and look at your videos, let me know. I don't have that many, honestly, in my queue. So I have been looking for some new people lately. I did discover, I've probably been under a rock, but Robert's Palace of Stitches, he's new to me. Let's see who else. Gigi and Stitches. I have, shout out to her. She's one of the new ones I've looked at, or I've seen. And there was one more, I can't remember what her name is. Or no, I'm sorry, there's 2 more, and I can't remember what their channels are called. So I will let you guys know those next time. And remember, be nice to each other, be kind. I had a thought, I didn't look one up. Oh, yes, I did actually. So I decided, kind of like how Denkai puts her, or Charisse from Denkai Designs, how she always does a joke at the end of her videos, I have decided that I am going to put a piece of good news I have heard. It's something that my local radio station does every Monday. They all 3 DJs find a piece of good news that they like. I'm going to use one of theirs for this week because I forgot to look them up beforehand and I didn't really want to do this video again. But, so you might have heard that about the Waffle House shooting. I'm sure you guys have all heard of that last week. Well, the piece of good news that I have is that the guy who stopped the shooter, not only stopped it, but he decided that wasn't good enough, and he created a GoFundMe to help the families of the victims of the people he wasn't able to save. He was initially asking, I think, for $15,000, and he has raised over $200,000. So that is really awesome. And not only that, but even though he wasn't asking for anything for himself, a local journalist, I don't know where my brain is today, a journalist heard his story and decided that this guy probably needed something as well. So he created a GoFundMe for this guy, for the guy who saved everybody. And he was able to raise another $200,000 for all of his expenses. And he was thinking maybe, you know, just to get them a vacation, him and his family, or something like that. Well, now he can get a very big vacation. And so I thought that was some good news. That was my favorite story I had heard. And so that's something I'm going to be doing every video, is giving you guys a piece of good news, a piece of brightness in the world. We all could use a little more sunshine. I know I've mentioned before I don't like sunshine in the weather, but I love sunshine in my everyday life, and I hope you guys do too. So thank you for stopping by. I will see you guys next time. Go spread some sun.